Blue Ridge
Like
is in 2 weeks, not next weekend, but the following weekend, maybe?
July 19th,
No,
20th,
July
and
19th.
yes.
Now, it is at the point where if you want to go, you're going to have to start scrambling for tickets a little bit.
Right.
But that's okay. It can still be done. But
Amy should have one.
yeah.
She always buys extra.
Can we go
So,
back to the original question from
right.
Susan?
Social media, how to
And-
post, etc.
Well, she was just saying that she needs help. So
Mhm.
I don't think a Juice Plus business should require a virtual assistant doing your social for you. That's too much. I also think,
Well, Doug, you don't know me well enough then, but go ahead. Keep
well,
going.
I'm gonna get, don't worry, first I tell problems and I will tell solutions. That's how I
Okay.
roll. Um, Listen, we all look on and see the amazing people on social media. I mean, I don't know how they do it. Their pictures are beautiful. They must have been journalism majors. They're just amazing. But let me tell you a couple of things. First of all, I know for a fact there is not necessarily a correlation between making money and having a great social media account in Juice Plus. Now, if your job is to be an influencer or something, maybe so. But at the same time, I don't know about you, but I can't do like bikini poses well, I could, I guess, on the beach, but I'm definitely not going to get the right followers. That's for sure. Um, so, sometimes you got to take everything with a grain of salt and really think about this. I mean, a lot of these people that promote that we should be doing this or that on social media also are like, they might as well be supermodels, or they might as well have amazing bodies and they're always showing them off, or maybe they're super funny, or maybe they know how to edit video and an amazing. You don't have to do that because those people spend a lot of time on that. And I'm telling you, look at the leaderboards when they come out each month for who's selling the most, who's getting the most new team. And then go look at their social media. Some of them are a hot mess on social media. So that's point number one. So don't believe the hype. Now, do I think that Kristen Boss might be able to help you with your social media? Yes, I do. However, let me tell you this, it still isn't, that's only to just kind of get you going on social media. But don't buy it hook, line, and sinker. And certainly don't sign up for the $5,000 package. Because let me tell you, the only person making money off of social media is Kristen Boss, because she's got all of us signing up for workshops to get, and she's making millions of dollars. Okay, so let me tell you what you really need to do, and this is the line. I think it used to be the tagline from Julie's website, or maybe for the whole company, which was live the mission and share your journey. That's all you got to do. And then the posts don't have to look good. All you got to do is live the mission, share your journey. Now, so what does that mean? Now, some people are like, I don't know what to post. I have nothing to post. Well, are you living the mission? Let's start with us and say, like, for instance, Sharon and I went out and we played some college students basically in pickleball this morning. And I can't believe they beat us in that last game. We should have had them. We played 3 games and we played great. We were doing awesome, but we should have got a picture with them afterward because they were half our age or less. They were definitely less, approaching a third of our age. But we were out there and we were dripping in sweat. The heat index is 105 and we were out there doing it. And that would have been a great post if we did that. Now, we wouldn't have to write something amazing. We wouldn't have to like have poetry and inspiration. People just have to know that we are people that value our health, so that when we do talk to people, they know, oh yeah, Susan's that healthy lady. That's all you got to do. Trust me.
Thank you, Doug. Because as Sharon probably knows, yes, I am one of those that almost bought that whole Kristen Boss thing. Amy said, Susan, no, do not do
Right.
that.
I protect Susan's wallet. So I'm glad
No,
you.
but I'm just like, if I could just get someone,
No,
yeah.
you're
And the
the
thing is,
one.
I want to learn how to do it. I really want to learn how to do it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And some of that is me. You know what I mean? I have to get over some of that. And I've gotten over a lot of that. I mean, I never used to even do events at my house because I was like, now I don't, it doesn't bother me at all. So I'm making strides. I am
Yeah.
making strides.
It's all a growing and learning
It is. It is.
process, the
It
whole
is.
business.
Right. It is.
Good.
So I
Well,
just have to, but I see that. So yeah, so the Jill Wagner thing is much more reasonable, obviously. But yes, I have texted her. I've texted her even said, do you do one-on-ones? Do you do,
oh,
but it's just a project broadcast, so I don't hear from her,
just
right?
spend some time with Amy. She knows how to do everything, right? And
Yeah.
she's right there. I mean, it's not, it's really, it's a mindset. You
It
can't
is.
be
It is.
perfect on social media. You just go on there, post a picture.
Well, and some of
Go
it
on
too
there,
is I've
post-
never been a social media person, so putting myself out there is even a stretch,
Yeah, that's true.
you know? So some of that, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, it's whether or not you're thinking of it as this could help me build my business.
Right. And for a long time I was like, oh, I need to get on, I need to get on, I need to make sales, I need to make sales. It's not about sales. It's about
No.
educating people.
It's about educating people, and it's also about just you're at the
Being
top
real.
of people's minds, or they'll
Right.
see you, and then when you actually see them, they're already way ahead on the conversation. Hey, I saw this that you
Right.
posted, or I saw this, and then that's where your conversation jumps off of, instead of it taking so many, other times to
Right.
meet with them. They
Right.
already know what's going on, and you go from there, kind of.
Right.
So.
I'll get there. But if you ever hear of anyone that's willing to help Susan win it, you just let me know.
No, like I thought the same thing with Jessie Lepicki. I mean, she does incredible posts, and the thing is that you want to have your own. You have to be yourself.
Right.
Most of your posts have to be about you. So you've got to
And
figure out
pictures of me and all that, pictures of my family, et cetera, and da da da
and
da.
who
I
you
know.
are in this business, or
Right.
that people would want to get to know, or whatever. And then only then after that is some juice plus stuff.
Right.
So I mean, even if Jessie the Picky did some of my social media for me, I wouldn't want as much. She does a lot of personal and a lot of juice plus. So anyway,
Right.
I'm like, I need to hire you. I'm the same way. I need to hire you for my social media. But she's like, I just borrow. She says I just borrow from others and repost.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
That's all you
Not
got to
rocket
do.
science, and it's
Yeah.
all there for us, step by
Right.
step from boards and from the hub.
Right. Let me give you, and then we'll move on. This is a good conversation for everybody, though, and everybody watching on Facebook too, to hear this. That I'm telling you, there's people that are making a lot of money off of social media training, and I don't know that we need this training because our business just doesn't work that way. It might work that way for like some sort of a fitness model or something, yeah, but it just doesn't work that way. This is a relationship business. And the reason we use, hey, Nicole, the only reason we're using social media is, again, you live the mission and you share your journey. You don't have to be perfect. You guys know, I've taught a lot of musicians over the years. I've run music colleges and whatnot. And in the creative process, in training songwriters or in the music studio, like writing songs and recording, I always say, don't be afraid to write or make terrible music. You just got to make music. You got to make a lot of, because even you go back to listen to like a Stevie Wonder record or something, one of the great artists. I don't want to upset Nalani with anything, but you can go to some records with some of your favorite songs on them, and I dare you to listen to that record straight through. There's some bombs on there, I hate to tell you. And those are only the songs that make it on the record. I mean, I work in this industry, and when you have a record that has, let's say, only 10 songs on it, they wrote 100 songs to get those 10. You don't want to hear the number 99, That probably didn't even get finished. So just make your posts and don't worry about it. But let me give you some really quick ideas. And let me share my screen real quick, and then we'll get into the other thing we're going to do today. I'm trying to get better at this because I know people say that they can't hear me and stuff. So sometimes Nicole sometimes texts me, I can't hear you. I'm glad you're on Zoom. Everybody hears me on Zoom. All right, so this is on Campbell Team Boards again. And in the social media training and examples, you can learn from Jamie and Jill. I mean, that's free. You don't have to go spend 5,000 bucks for that. There's post examples. I mean, why don't we just share some of these? Like, go make a post. Post about spinach. And even better than just posting a picture of spinach, make it like a spinach dish. Like let this so what if we go next level? Okay, so what if we say we're going to post about spinach, and then I say, you know what? Let me go to the store. I'm going to get some spinach. I'm going to make a dish that has spinach in it. How are you going to find a dish? I would go to, personally, I go to forksoverknives.com and just search spinach. And then, I mean, it's just so simple. You're going to find a great recipe. There's multiple things you could do with that whole scenario. You could take pictures of the process or share the recipe you made, but then also share this post. I mean, so there's a million things you can do. There's all kinds of ideas, smoothie post ideas, verbiage ideas, business, you name it. But also, you guys know I'm crazy with this too. I could go to ChatGPT and I could say something like, give me 50 social media post ideas that will promote, I'm afraid to say my business, because it
Put
might do business.
spinach, put spinach, okay.
There you go. Oh, it's doing pretty good. I mean, what if and they're going to just give you topics and you can run with it. I'm just going to let this video, let it scroll down. You guys can read them. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have all these? Just go to ChatGPT. I mean, I don't recommend having it write your posts for you because people can tell. It gets a little weird. But it's like Sharon likes to say, the line, there's a line from here to infinity of people to talk to. Same thing with posts. It's just, I think what we're really seeing with Susan and others is just fear and perfectionism or fear of judgment. So don't have fear of judgment. Nobody's going to judge you. These are your friends. And you know what? If your friends are going to judge you for saying you like spinach, well, I don't think they will. I mean, why am I even going there? So that's some ideas, right? Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you, Doug.
So tell them how to get ChatGPT. I mean, it's free for me. Doug likes to pay for,
Well,
for advanced things, but I think you could just put it into Google, right?
My son introduced me to ChatGPT yesterday.
Oh, okay,
You don't even have to Google, just put it in the URL, chatgpt.com.
yeah, and if you stay up to date on AI and what's going on out there, there's a difference. So what was my prompt here? Are you guys seeing my
50
screen?
things, 50
Yeah.
social media.
Okay, so let me copy this post, and you saw what it just did for me. I'm using ChatGPT 4.0. If I go to the free version, which is going to be ChatGPT 3.5, let me do a new one, and it's going to be much less usable. No, might be more usable sometimes. Yeah, this is not even the actual topic. Let me go up to like the first one. No, let's go. There we go. Recommend a book related to health, nutrition, or
I
personal
like
development.
this list.
Post a recipe featuring fruits and veggies that complement Juice Plus capsules. Share a behind the scenes video of your daily routine as a team leader. I mean, there's a million things you can do. And if 50 weren't enough, I could then just say, give me 50 more. Okay. I didn't even spell it right. It still knows what I'm doing. So it is pretty cool. There is Meta, Facebook has a free one, and that's really nice and really good. Here's Meta AI. It's meta.ai. Let me see what I do here. Well, it doesn't know what my business. Well, here's the difference too. I didn't need to do a little bit of training because I trained the AI so it knows who I am, what I'm about. And so if I do this for Meta, it's not going to know what I'm even talking about probably. It's more like generic. So yeah, I don't want to get into a training on this right now, but if I go back to GPT-4 and I just say, tell me about my business, I've already trained it. So if you want me to teach you guys how to train your I can do that, but you're gonna have to pay for your AI to do it. Or there's a workaround. And I have a document in my notes, and you guys know I'm always talking about keeping Evernote or notes and really good notes. I have about 1,000 words that tells the AI who I am, where I live, what I do, history of the Juice Plus company. I take a bunch of stuff from boards and put it in there. I also tell it how I want it to do social media posts. So then I can just open up any other AI like the Meta, paste that in there and train it real quick, then ask the question, and it knows who I am now. So we'll do that another time, but it is pretty fascinating. I think it's really helpful, and you can make it helpful for your business. But our point was that we wanted to talk about how do we share on social media. Can we get a few more suggestions? So what we're talking about for another minute or two is posting on social media, how sometimes, because Michelle just came on, Naira just came on, Nicole's here but hasn't spoken yet, Jimmy's on, hello everybody. But some people have like fear or anxiety. Maybe they don't even identify it as that, but maybe they just don't share a lot about their business. Now, I wouldn't even call it sharing. When I say share about the business, I don't even know that we should share about our business. I mean, I've considered transitioning to doing some of that to see how it works. But just sharing, like the famous quote from Julie Herbst is live the mission and share your journey. And that's what I see a lot of people do. I see Nalani doing it. I do that. I definitely see Michelle doing that with just healthy living. Nicole does it. So any tips for the people that are hesitant? And don't forget, you guys all have team members that are watching this replay on Facebook. So let's give a few tips of what they can do to just get active on social media or maybe get over some of their fear of stuff. Here's where you unmute and there goes Michelle. I love you.
Ah. Hey everyone. Sorry, I look crazy, so my video's off. But I know when we share as we're learning, people love that. Like as you learn different things from our community and you go ahead and share what you're learning, you never know who that's going to affect. That's how I just like started out with everything back in the day. Like I learned how a blender would fit, the blender base would fit a mason jar and you could make your smoothie in your mason jar. So less cleanup. Like people went crazy for that. Like there's just so many things we learn in this community that I think sometimes we take for granted that everyone knows, but they don't. So if you don't know what to post, something in your day or week that you just like, oh, this is kind of cool, post it. Like people want to see that stuff. I'm amazed. I've been having salad jar events for like probably 8 or 9 years, and still people are like amazed by the salad in a jar concept. So you just never know how those things will enlighten people and attract them to what you're doing.
I think Michelle, she's hitting on a great one. And again, she actually makes salad jars and she eats salad jars. So therefore, all she has to do is post about doing that, and it's a great post. I bet you know how we're always showing like our salad jar parties and stuff? A great
Mm-hmm.
post, I remember Sharon did this years ago. If you set up your camera and you just show that salad, how satisfying is it when that salad
Post it
comes out of the
down, post it
jar?
down.
It's incredible. So just do a post about the salad coming out of the jar. You know, that's pretty cool. Like I have like a tower garden full of bolted romaine lettuce because now that, you know, basically we live on the sun or something with the heat, the lettuce is just bolts almost immediately, right? Well, I'm not throwing my lettuce out. I don't know about you guys. If it's a little bitter, that's okay for me. I'm gonna eat it. In fact, once you know the healthier eaters, we like it more bitter, right? So I'm gonna show people my tower garden and the problem with growing lettuce in the summer. I'm going to hit multiple aspects on this social media post. First of all, if you go into like Florida backyard gardening, I'm in like the Zone 9A garden group or whatever, fruits and vegetables growing. Everybody's saying, "Oh, my lettuce is on fire. I've just pulled it all out. It's not going to grow. Can't grow lettuce." And or people will ask like, "How am I going to grow lettuce in the summer?" And people are like, "You can't grow lettuce in Florida in the summer." And I always just post a picture of me in my tower garden. But I'm going to go in there. I'm going to post lettuce. You know, they say you can't grow lettuce in the summer in Florida. Well, here's my tower garden and it's full of lettuce. Now it does bolt. That's a little bit of the problem. So you want to, and I'm going to teach people. Now I'm talking to my customers and my prospects. Maybe you want to, you know, harvest it a little earlier before it starts bolting. Let's go with baby lettuce in the summer and things like that. And I also have some brand new seeds that I'm going to try that are like the most heat tolerant. It's called Sunland. And I'm going to grow that romaine next. So now I have all these posts I can do based around lettuce. And then I'm going to also be eating a salad of my lettuce when people say you can't grow lettuce. All right. So again, I'm just living the mission and I'm sharing my journey. Let's hear some other ideas. We've all known people that are hesitant to post on their social media.
I think just to piggyback on that is to have the mindset that your phone is always ready, because you never know when you're cooking something, you say, "Oh, you know, that looks good," and just video it right there. And sometimes you can do it without even saying anything if you're nervous about saying anything. A lot of times there's noise going on in the background, and I'll just video my dinner or stirring a pot. And then later on, you know, I'll go to CapCut, but that's another thing, and just add my voice to it. But the point is that no matter what you're doing and where you are, if you just remember, "Oh, I can use my phone," and just take a picture of it, then later, or a short video, no matter what it is, it could be yelling at your kids in the morning. Well, you don't want to show your kids, but you know what I mean. It doesn't matter as long as you're living and living the mission, like Sharon reminded us from June.
I would
Julie.
have a lot of footage of yelling at my kids in the morning. Tons.
Listen, if you could become an NMD by yelling at your kids, Michelle would be 100 club. I'm just kidding.
Seriously.
You teed it up. I had to take that one. I'm trying to put the list of post ideas into the Facebook posts, so everybody can have access to those. The ones I did from ChatGPT just now. I mean, guys, ChatGPT. My goodness, I got to do a serious training on that because it is bananas how much ideas you can get from it. All
Why
right.
would sorry.
How about some more ideas? Nicole, were you going to share something?
Yes, adding to everything that everyone has saying is I like sharing how Juice Plus makes it convenient for me because everybody's trying to add more whole food and that's where everybody's spinning around, spending money, not doing it or not benefiting enough. Organic, not organic, and all that conversation that we already know. So that makes sense to people. And funny enough, I haven't gotten any order like, "Oh, I saw this video, I am ready to purchase." But when I speak to those people, somehow at some point, "Oh, I've been watching you. Oh, yes." And so it makes the
Mm-hmm.
conversation much easier. Like they're already halfway sold to it. It was just waiting for me to call, kind of thing.
Yeah, even when you start talking to people and they think it's juice, like liquid juice. I don't that happens all the time, right? And you're like, "Oh, no, no, it's better than that. You don't have to drink something. It's just a capsule or a tasty gummy, you know?" But that is so true. Tower Garden, you will get some instant sales, I find, but not so much on Juice Plus, you know, so just
Yeah,
be careful.
it's different. So Naira asked, how do you get sales from posting? It's more of a relationship thing or a trust building on social media. You have to have a conversation with somebody most of the time. Like Shakira, we had her on here and she is an iridologist and somebody people follow. And so even she needs to get on the phone with the person to, get them set and on the right track. And if you do take that time, people continue to reorder. And that's the beauty of our business is you can have customers for decades. So, sometimes it's a number of exposures with Juice Plus. Like Doug's saying, you might be able to sell a tower garden by somebody just seeing something. But with Juice Plus, it's more of a paradigm shift on many levels. So there's a lot of different exposures that lead up to, somebody finally getting on Juice Plus. Like Nicole's saying, they were watching, but you've got to be the one that is the relationship to seal the deal. Also, it's top of our list. It's not top of theirs, they need that impetus to knock them off the fence or to get them started. We're the facilitators. So it's more than just posting.
Yeah, it's to piggyback on that, it's relationship building, so that takes time. And so when we already know it's going to take time, then we don't get frustrated because we don't expect people to buy the first time we say something. It's just like she said, several educational exposures. So if you're having fun and you look like you're having fun and you're just sharing information, when somebody says, "Oh, I like that," and you DM them and start the conversation, you don't start them, "Oh, I got one for you," or something like that. It's you ask them a question. "Oh, you like that? Do you garden?" And then start the conversation that way.
That's a great point. I feel, for me, looking on, it looks like some people are like, it looks a little stressful to me the way they do their business. Like, Sharon and I are very much, and we were working on our Blue Ridge Boot Camp talk yesterday, and I feel like this is what we're going to be talking about some of the time is how we've really gotten pretty good, I think, at just literally, it's like we're just having fun and living the dream. But now you can't just have fun and live the dream. If your idea of fun, like for instance, I have a car I'm working on and it's in the garage, it's up on stilts right now, and I gotta be dropping the transmission and all this stuff. That isn't gonna build my business. Okay? It's not the best way. But doing social activities or doing active activities, like what do you like? Do you like yoga? Then just go around to different yoga studios, go to the YMCA, figure out where yoga's happening. If you like playing pickleball like we do, or golf, or whatever you like to do, do it. It doesn't have to be a sport. It could be painting, it could be dancing, it could be as a musician. I haven't had a lot of luck with a lot of musicians, so I'd stay away from those musicians. But the thing is, it's all about people. So you want to meet people. And as you meet people, like we love this restaurant in town called Falafel X Bar. So we go there for falafel. No, we don't get falafel. We get hummus bowls, and they have all these toppings. But there's a girl that's a musician. She plays keys and works there. And so when you meet people and you strike up conversation, that's another thing. Just strike up conversation. Be interested in people. Don't be interesting. Like learn about them, and then add them on social media. Because now you're living the mission, you're sharing the journey, they start to see it. And now when we go back to Falafel X Bar, if she's there, we're talking about what each other's doing in life. It's like we've never hung out with this girl once. I mean, if we wanted to really pursue her, we could. We could go see her band play and see her play music. We could, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Nalani sent me a message, yes. But just we know what's going on a little bit in each other's lives and stuff. So it's a heck of a lot easier to take that conversation. Like we have Mitra Ray and Lisa Pebble, and I always forget the other one guy that's coming, Sharon.
Jay O'Brien.
Shay O'Brien. So she's another one. Remind me to put her on my list for invites. but we can invite her to come to that event. Now, if she was just the cashier at the restaurant and everyone's saying, like, hi again, how are you? And how would I invite her to the event? You know what I mean? So social media plays a part in all that stuff. Good talk. Well, it's kind of related. We're going to move into talking about the power hour, and I think we'll probably keep some of this conversation actually going. Let me share my screen, make sure. I found a solution to everybody hearing me all the time. I'm just not going to mute myself, Sharon. How about that?
Oh, boy. Once he starts typing, that's when I mute him. It might be my fault.
Probably it always is, Sharon. Always is. Hey, can you? Okay, I'm just looking for one thing. There's that. Then I have to look for my Zoom. Where's my Zoom?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay, this isn't going to work. Okay, no, it's just Facebook. Sorry, Facebook. You're not going to be able to see everybody.
Oh, no.
You'll just see the slide the way it is. Okay, so so we have this thing called the Empowered in an Hour that everybody should know about, and we're going to tell you what it is, but then we're going to also talk through what we do on an Empowered in 1 hour, and then hopefully we'll share even more ideas today of how we can not only do this in an Empowered in 1 hour, but it's kind of like a roadmap for your DMO. If you're going to sit down and work, you get a lot done in this thing. So the Empowered in 1 hour happens all the time. For instance, here's the schedule for this week. And can't really see that, but it happens on Monday through Friday, not Thursday this week. But you can find this usually in Sharon. Sharon puts it into her events in the Facebook group. I always do the 8 a.m. on this line, Monday through Friday, but there's other ones available during the day as well. Okay. But what we do during an Empowered in 1 hour is we spend 5 minutes just chit-chatting and checking in and talking about what's working and what's successful. Now, the 8 a.m. one is kind of cool because we have, like, if you watched that business event the other night, Julie Muse is really hooked on it now, so she's been coming in. So, and we have Wendy Palmisano on there. So we have NMDs that'll get on there. Leila Dunn comes on sometimes. So you'll have all these people that have a lot of experience in the business. And isn't it nice just to pick somebody's brain? Like, hey, Julie Muse, what's working for you right now? Or she'll tell us what she's excited about. And she did, this morning. So we do these check-ins and wins and all that good stuff. Then we go into 10 minutes of social media warm-up where we just, you can see what we do. We do social media, we make new friends, we spend 10 minutes on invites, we spend 10 minutes on follow-ups, then customer care. Then we even have a little time of gratitude where we send messages. Nalani I was her gratitude the other day, and that was super special. And it really does make your day when you get one of those messages. So appreciated that, Nalani. Thank you. Hold on. There we go. So ways to be prepared. If you were to come on the Power Hour, this is a list of some tips on how to be prepared for it. But we could do this any day of the week, and maybe we should always be ready with this kind of information. But check it out. What about making a list, having your memory jogger available? That's Juice Plus 101. And listen, I've gone through some times where I wasn't active on my memory jogger, and I'm probably not getting a lot of action in my business during those times. So we're going to drill down on some of these. Having a dream team worksheet, customer genealogy report. You don't have to raise your hands because I don't want anybody to have to keep raising their hand over and over, but sometimes we haven't looked at our customer genealogy in a while, right? Sometimes we don't even realize that we have people that cancel their orders, and then it's like a month later and you're like, wait a second, how come Amber Doggett's not a customer anymore? That's a real scenario in our household, which is upsetting because we love those people. Downline growth PVC report, see who's going on, what about who on your team needs to renew, and your list of upcoming events to invite to. You know, you should always know what is the events you're excited about. I'm excited about the business event tonight that Julie Herbst is doing. All right, so that'd be a great event to be inviting to. All right, so this is actually, oh, here's, look at this. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier. And this is in the slides, Susan, for what we do on the Power Hour. And it's just sharing your authentic self and seeing what's going on. All right, let's go to the actual, this is the actual slides. Come on. You can do it there. Oh, all right, I go to my little host folder. Then I go to images. This is how I do it. So this is what I show when we check in and we do wins. But here we go. We spend usually 10 minutes on social media engagement. So let's talk about this a little bit. Who does some of this stuff and what do you like to do? If we were gonna do a Power Hour right now, let's talk about some ideas. You can look at the screen if you want and maybe tell a story about it, but let's get some sharing going from some of you guys.
I'll
Sharon,
go.
go ahead.
I'll go, because when you get to this and I'm on the Power Hour, I'm like, oh, okay, so some of this I do like to do, the birthday, message to people. But mostly it reminds me to just go post. So Susan, I'll go into my photos and see, is there anything worth posting? I have so many flyers and all kinds of things in my photos. But I'll try to find something I can post either in stories or on my wall, so that usually is what I'm doing when we come to this slide.
I'll share what I like to do. My default is to go to the birthdays on Facebook because it's like I start up. I don't know what I'm going to post. I don't know who to interact with. So I just go to my friends list, and then you can see easily on your friends list. Does everybody know where that is? Let me show you real quick. So on Facebook, if I go to friends right here, it will say birthdays. And that will give me a list of everybody that has a birthday today. So now what I don't do, just so you know, is I don't go right on their profile like this. I don't just say happy birthday on their wall. I'll then go over to Sue Newman, which honestly, I don't even know who that is. Hope they're not on here.
She's
then I
in
go
the
to
community, she's a golfer.
Okay, there we go. Then I go to messages and I'll send a direct message. If it's somebody like I really know, then I'm going to go to my text and send them a direct message that way. All right. So that's just a simple way. You guys, let me hear from some of you guys. What do you do as far as social media engagement, or if you've ever been on a Power Hour, how do you like to use this time?
Well, just to follow up what you said about the birthdays, when I do go and click on their timeline, I make sure that I say something really personal right there so that they
Yeah.
know I didn't just post happy birthday.
Yes, that's true. That's a good idea too. I just always wonder, like, I don't know about you guys, but I think I've done it a few times, but are you really going to scroll through all those birthday wishes? Some of you will, but that's a lot of scrolling depending on how many friends you have. You can end up with like hundreds on there. Nicole, what do you like to do during this?
Like you, I don't post I do look for birthdays because it's a nice way to reach out to people. But I do it days after. When it's my birthday, I'm overwhelmed with so many messages that I do want to reply. So I wait a few days, then I know your birthday was the other day. And I just start the conversation like that. It to me is more natural and less stressful for the person, but I'm protecting myself. I do that. I also use this time to use WhatsApp and somehow get them. Either I share a post of mine or I share someone else's, oh, I saw this out of you, or share between platforms. I also use this time to either start or finish or just do a post. And also, I look for people with children because that's my passion. And that's just an easy way in for me. Or if they say that I see them losing weight or in a challenge or something that they're focused on, I just ask. hey, what's that about? Or for, or
Yeah.
just
So
interested, like,
she's
what
doing
you
some
doing
of
that
the
for? Mhm.
she's doing some of the engaging with people who are hopefully they're liking and stuff on your post. Does anybody do some of that stuff like where you check your post and see who's liking it and maybe like go over and see what they're doing? And I mean, it's easy to do comments back, but I'd love to hear some interaction from that. Maybe some other people. Michelle, I don't know if you're available. Denzel, do you guys do any of that kind of stuff?
I do it occasionally. It depends. I used to do it more frequently, but sometimes there's someone that their name might pop up and I hadn't spoken to them in a while. So I'd be like, oh my goodness, how's everything going? Like I'll just check in because, it's a surprise to see that they um did a like, but it's not consistent. I'll say that. But it
Hmm.
does start up um conversation, which is
Yeah,
good, which is something that we always want. And a lot of times I just do it innocently because I always just like to know how people are doing. So, and then it might turn into more.
excellent.
Something easy when I don't want to interact with people for whatever conversation I'm having in my mind or my situation, which is limiting beliefs, nothing bad. I use a lot of stories because just giving a thumbs up or a heart, people get that directly versus a comment that they have to go to the post and notifications and all of that. And that helps a lot on starting conversations, or at least for them to see my post whenever I post.
Yeah, that's a whole nother ball game, which I think we could do some social media training, like because I don't want to freak Susan out because we started this whole discussion about talking about social media posting, but then there's the whole aspect of should it be a story, should it be a reel, should it be a post? When I do a post, should I share that to my story? And there's a lot. Just don't worry, don't let it freeze you up. Just do something. We
No,
just
but
want to
to
do something.
help that, I wasn't focusing on the posting. I was focusing on the engagement through the story, which is faster sometimes than going to a post or looking for post to then.
Oh, so you go to your story and
I
see
go
who's engaged in the story.
I go to other people. When
Oh.
when you go on, let's say Instagram, which is the largest platform to sell or to have sales conversations more than TikTok. TikTok is with no conversation. Um, you go here and I just go through these people's
Oh
stories.
yeah, you see your like Michelle has one up right now.
In
And
When I
I
don't want to
watch
talk to people much.
Oh, you know what's cool though? I like that about when you're watching somebody's story, if you comment on that, it's a message. They're getting that. It's not like a comment on their post, which you might not notice it for months, right? That's coming right to their inbox, and that's pretty cool.
Yes, I do like commenting on people's stories because it's what they want to talk about. And I'm commenting about what they want to talk about. So they're more likely to go back and forth talking to you. It's all about conversations anyway.
Yeah. Denzel, what do you have?
I was about to say the same thing. I create engagement through stories. But the real key is to then take the conversation beyond just that story and really produce that connection or whatever that, however deep that connection is with that person. Just continue to walk it along, just finding what they're interested in. And then over time, they'll start reviewing your stories and it'll become a back and forth thing that turns into, people just being curious about what you do because you're curious about what they do.
Yes. It's a relationship business, and we can use social in a way that does create those relationships, those conversations. So after 10 minutes of that, we move into this next section about making new friends for 10 minutes. Now, some people are hesitant about this, and I'm just going to encourage you to add friends. And I know some people are like, I'm not friends with that person. Well, forget that it's called friends. Just call it contacts. I mean, would you rather be in a room? Well, I don't want to ask that question because I'm an introvert, and I was going to say, would you rather be in a room with 10 people or with 10,000? Well, I'd rather be in a room with 10 people. And I'm going to talk to one of them for most of the time. Sharon, if we're in a room with 10,000, she's going to be going, "Boo, boo, 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 boo," and she's going to get, and we're not leaving until she talks to all 10,000. She's just more like that. Um, But you want to expand your friend list. If you're not at 1,000 yet, I'm going to encourage you to start adding. If you just add like 2 or 3 or 5 a day, you're going to grow your friends list. So imagine if you're putting out your spinach post and you make some sauteed spinach and you're talking about the health benefits of spinach, and if you grew it on your tower garden, forget about it. Now you got one of the greatest posts in the world. Who's going to see it? Your friends are going to see it on Facebook at least, and your followers on Instagram. So if I only have 300 followers and the algorithm only lets a small percentage see it anyway, at least if I had 3,000 friends, I'm probably going to get more people seeing that post. Okay. So, I mean, to me, that's common sense, and it expands your market. It also gives you more people to wish a happy birthday and to get to know. Now, I unfriend people. I mean, I went through this phase where when I call it the Matthew Hamburger phase, where Sharon was doing events at the Matthew's studio, and there was yoga classes. I think Michelle has picked up the torch with Matthew Hamburger, but back then I friended him on Facebook, and he was friends with all the different yoga teachers around town, and I figured, well, I'll friend these yoga teachers. Well, next thing you know, I have like 25 yoga teacher friends, and it's like nothing ever comes from it. And then I don't really want to see, like, the yoga girls, wearing their little yoga outfits, like bending over backwards and stuff. That's not what I need in my life right now. So I do unfriend them sometimes if they something that I just think is not really going to be a good thing for me. So don't be afraid to unfriend people that it turns out it was a bad contact or something. Friends of friends. But now let me talk real quickly about groups, and we'll probably end here with groups. What else do we have? Oh gosh, inviting to events, but we're going to stop with social today. Let's talk about groups. I'm going to unshare the screen, and let me change my thing. Now, I don't know if you guys are using groups a lot, but sometimes we have to reframe the I'm trying. Okay, there we are. Nope. My goodness. Okay, groups. I apologize. I'm trying to get my Zoom meeting back up.
Okay, I'll talk about groups.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been joining groups based on my age and building muscle. Like, there's a bunch, and then more just popped up. Like, I went into Team Transformers just to see how the video is going, and like there were, oh, you might like this group, this group. Facebook helps you to see what groups you might like. So then I just say, yeah, I'll join them. And you don't want to get overwhelmed like in your news feed too much with groups, but sometimes it is of interest. So if it's your interest and it fits you, then join those groups. And then you can post in there, you can comment. And the thing is, you can't, quote, sell. So you've got to be offering some value every once in a while. So that's kind of a very D activity. The A activity in our business is talking to people one-on-one or calling or having events. Social media is just like, when you're playing around, when you're already on social media anyway, why not get in a group where, it might apply to you? So anyway, that I do join groups. And it could be pickleball groups, it could be anything that's of my interest, and something might come of it or something might not. Usually for me, it doesn't. I don't know about you guys. But it could end up that you friended somebody. I like to do a lot more in person and then friend them, then they see what we're about, over time. Or I just ran into somebody, we had an event, but it wasn't a Juice Plus event. But then we were talking about recipes. I said, so how'd your recipe turn out? And he said, yeah, send me any more. I said, well, we have a healthy group on Facebook. So I like to use our own group to add people in so they know what our community is about and stuff too. So, using our own group as well, adding people to our healthy group, and also posting. That's a really good thing. Or tagging people on posts. There's a lot you could do on social media. It's not, an A activity unless you're going live or creating stories and it leads to conversations.
So
Well,
I have a group,
go ahead.
Healthy Happy Boomers, and it's not just for boomers, it's for anybody who knows any boomers. So it's for everybody, and it's a public group. And we started out watching movies together, and it was that kind of thing, not just to try to push your product, just to build some relationships. And now I'm in the process of rebuilding that page. So anybody's welcome to join it. And also to remember to invite everybody to Simple Changes to Better Health.
Yeah.
That's a couple of things there. First of all, make sure you're using your um, contact group, your healthy living group. I don't want to call it a customer group anymore because it's beyond that. We want to invite anybody and everybody who wants to live a healthy lifestyle into the healthy lifestyle group, which is Simple Changes to Better Health. I think Sharon just shared a link to it. If you're a sideline or something and you want to join that group, you are welcome to do that too. You know, it's funny, we're talking about groups, and I just realized, you know, I go into these groups and stuff, but I don't really get any customers or anything out of the groups. And I think it's one of those things though. It's like anything else. Like if you it's okay, imagine you're a Juice Plus team member. If you just kind of sort of share Juice Plus and like you told one or two people about it, you know, last month on the 3rd, and then it's a month later and you're like, oh, let me go on a lunch and learn. Maybe I'll share it again. I'm gonna share it with one more person today. And then you don't share again for another week or two. Listen, the odds are not in your favor. Okay, you're not going to sell any Juice Plus. There needs to be a consistency. There needs to be like almost like when we say live the mission, share your journey. That's like a personal brand you're developing. You know, that's your brand. And again, Susan, especially, we don't have to be perfect in our brand. I mean, we just have to inspire people, and you don't have to be perfect. I don't always get inspired by those perfect looking people on social. I want a real person that's really living life, you know, and I can relate to them more. But if you were to go into a group and really become a member of that group, like what if I was making healthy recipes and I was in the North Florida, you know, vegetarian cooking group or whatever, and I was sharing recipes and this and that and ideas and some Tower Garden stuff and how I'm using my lettuces and all this stuff, you know, I would probably get more interaction. But there is still going to have to be a point where I take, like as Denzel said, I love that what he said. He said eventually you take that conversation kind of to the next level. If you never go to the next level, nothing's going to come from it. So I would have to, like if we have Dr. Mitra Ray and Lisa Pebble coming to town, I would need to go into that group and say, hey guys, I got this event with a biochemist and a food, I don't know what her title is, but I'll figure it out. And I got some free tickets to it or whatever. Anybody want to join up and get a drink beforehand? There's a happy hour beforehand. I'd love to meet you guys in real life. Somebody's going to say, out of the 5,000 people in that group, somebody's going to come. Sharon, don't let me forget that one either. So what about you guys? What do you guys think about using groups for your business?
I think it's really important to do what you said, Doug, because it could just be a hobby. It could be, I knit. I love knitting. And when you go on some of these groups, they don't want to hear anything about anything else but what that group is about. So unless I'm building a relationship in that group, it's nice to have it, but it's not going to build my business. It's not going to bring anything in unless I've developed a relationship with somebody. And that can happen, but yet we get to be on purpose. We get to be specifically, I'm going to build a relationship with this person. And then privately, oh, I like what you're doing, you know, ask genuine questions and start building the relationship. So it still boils down to that relationship building, no matter where you are. If it's a group or, you know, if it's in a group, you do have things in common. right? And so now you just, like he said, take it to the next level by showing your interest in what they do. I don't know if that's
Mhm.
reflected, but
Yes. All right. Well, this was some good discussion today. Okay, Jimmy, if you don't have an NMD in the area, um, in Sharon, you can speak to that. You're muted.
I did. I told him to call distributor support, find out who his leader is in that area.
Yeah.
And then get in whatever Voxer chat or Facebook group. Also, make sure you guys are on the Facebook group called Juice Plus Events North America, because you can ask even in there, Jimmy, who is, doing events in this particular area, and maybe they'll answer you. But there are so many awesome pictures of what people are doing for events. But used to be that's where they would post whatever big events, and they might still, of what's happening in different areas. So I don't know where you're located, Jimmy. I know you're in California, I think. So maybe, hi Daniela, I see you.
Hey, I'm gonna end the live stream on Facebook. So,
Okay.
so Facebook, thanks for coming on. Good conversation. Give us a replay, hashtag replay if you watch it. And everybody else that's on here, this was great conversation. I got good ideas from it. I hope you did too. Um, we're always thinking of the next topic. So leaders, especially, or anybody, if you would love to hear a certain thing on a lunch and learn, just let us know. Just let us know. Um,
4th of July, we're not having a Zoom.
thank you.
We'll be back the following Monday, and I think we should keep going through the power hour because it's actually all the things we, could be doing for the business. So we'll get to events.
Yeah, I dare you guys to try a power hour. If it doesn't fit into your schedule at this early time that I do it, then just check out the schedule and do a later one. There's also in the Campbell team boards in the Empowered in 1 Hour in the events folder, Empowered in 1 Hour folder. There's actually recordings. You can choose Leela Dunn, not Wendy Campbell, but Shelley Mackey, and then one other. And you can just watch their power hour and just follow along. And it's all good. So it's really helpful. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys will have a great week. Good to see you on here. And we're going to be sticking around and meeting with Naira, right? Yes. Cool. So everybody else, we're all good.